Welcome back, everyone, to the Energy for Sales podcast. Tim Hooper and David Oliphant, your hosts, where we believe if you're not having fun in sales, you may be doing something wrong. David, I'm excited about today.
Yeah, today is a day we all woke up, so it's exciting. Now, we've been having good conversations this week. We're going to share a little bit about what we've talked about, what we're teaching, what we're thinking. So, Tim, kick us off, man. Good morning.
Man, I'm excited. You've challenged me recently, man. I mean, we're in a slow down, maybe pre-recession, a lot of anxiety in the marketplace. Sometimes some hesitation to buy a lot.
Summer doldrums, if you believe it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think for the sales professional who leans into that with courage, as a challenger, lean in, right?
Lean in.
As a challenger sale, we were talking yesterday over coffee about the challenger salesperson. David, you said something and we were like, that is the absolute theme of the virtual sales summit this year. And here's a brief little teaser snippet, whatever you want to call it, but an invite to you, a rising star, a sales professional wants to accelerate your profession, wants to raise the tide, let all the ships on your team rise when that tide rises. If you want to grow yourself, join us in September, because the theme we came up with, David, is so good. It's so basic almost, but it's so good. It's time, or the theme is going to be time to grab market share. Time to grab market share. David, it was fun, and we unpacked that a bit. We're gonna have 3 sessions. But when we say time to grab market share, when you said that yesterday, like what's in your mind? What are some of the challenges to that right now?
Well, it all begins with mindset. And I mean, yeah, in any point of history, you can look back over the 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, and there's always a lot going on. I hate hearing, oh, we're in unprecedented times. Where every day is unprecedented times, but it really is time to just shake it off and go grab some market share. You probably each have some competitors in your industry, in your market, hopefully not so much in your company, that are just kind of still wobbly and waiting to see what's going to happen with inflation and interest rates and layoffs and everything. And so you can get in that mindset that's very defensive or neutral mindset. It's time to get into a forward moving mindset and really grab market share. Tim, we were talking about one of the things I've always taught is assessing, like, are you getting your fair share from a certain client or a market or a territory or industry, and you need to assess if you're getting your fair share, and if you're not, you need to go get it. If you're getting your fair share, strategies and mindset on how to go get more than your fair share. So it's good conversations. It's always time, but it seems to really be time now to hit the accelerator and go have a great year. I mean, we're at the halfway point. And if you're not halfway to where you need to be, then you got to figure out how you're going to get there.
David, couple of things you said in that I heard and I picked up on was timing. You mentioned your competitive landscape. There are people out there right now in an environment like this. There are companies, your competition, who they're either, I mean, we've seen layoffs, right? We've seen scale backs. So either they're in a posture of not serving the client well, maybe they're in a posture of hesitation. I see the bold players right now making moves like acquisition, partnerships, going in and taking on a new product offering or line because they've scooped something up, some opportunity. There are opportunities right in front of us if we'll look for them. But it's interesting. A lot of the companies I'm looking at, seeing them making these moves and gaining market share and grabbing acquisitions, they actually learn that from their customers by having conversations with their customers. And their customers say, hey, you should do this. Or if you would do this, we could open up this entire market with you. This company's not serving us well. And these people over here, we love, if you could just pull them over, those conversations are happening right now. And I was at dinner with a client last night, and somebody said, and it came across the table about, man, there's just a lot of moving parts and changes going on. I said that's what a down market actually is. It's a huge opportunity. It's time for the brave of heart. And as a sales professional, we have to do the service to ourselves and our organization to go out and have those conversations that have no clear end in sight, have no clear objectives possibly. It's more along the lines of leaning in to your current clients to listen, to ask. David, I love that you said timing. And then number two, as you were moving through, time to grab market share, it's, as a sales professional, knowing the data, just really leaning. And there's some tools out there to analyze, and not being an emotional driven sales professional, although we can be emotional creatures and connect emotionally, that's great, but don't be emotionally driven. Look at the hard facts, look at the data, look at your own, purchase order history with a certain client. There's some data online, depending on the industry you're in. You can really see what kind of expenditure that your client is making, and if you are getting, and go in just more as a business owner mindset to ask, what would it take, or ask those open-ended questions so that you can come back informed to your company to say, here's what it would take for us to gain our fair share or more. So, David, I love that. Both of those things, timing externally, and then looking at the data internally, and then going and having those conversations to absolutely make sure that, A, you're living up to par to get your fair share. But if you are living up, somebody isn't taking advantage of you for all your resources and placing business somewhere else because maybe B company is whining and dining, whereas you are bringing more value. So really lean into the data. I love that, David. Time to grab market share, guys. And we're going to discuss and unpack all of this in so much depth in September.
Yeah, and Tim, the session around communication, I mean, we should all know how to communicate, but it's from taking it from surface level conversations into business level conversations. Yeah. And you touched on that just now. If you're not having those business level conversations, what's moving their companies, what's on their radar and landscape, if you're not having those conversations, I would imagine your competitors are having them. And yeah, the day of whining and dining is great, but having those type of conversations, spawning thoughts and questions that someone hasn't asked. I've got a good buddy that has been looking to sell his company for about 2 years now, and I don't think he's ever going to sell. I think he just thinks he wants to. So went 180 degrees with it. It's like, man, okay, if you're not going to sell, if you're not getting the opportunity that you'd like, if you're having to stay in for 18 or 24 months, which he might as well just keep it, is his mindset. If that's the case, then go look for an acquisition. Go acquire someone. So now is a time for movement for sure.
I love that you went with the conversations piece. Somebody told me recently, they said, whoever's winning the most sales conversations, winning the right to a conversation right now, asking for the conversation, getting on Zoom for the conversation, calling and talking, whoever's winning right now, the sales conversation game is winning. And it is true for all time, but especially right now, the sales conversations, whoever's winning there is winning the most business. And he was so right. So yes, one of the sessions we're going to unpack initiating conversations, how to, and then power questions to take those conversations deeper. David, I love that you said spawning thought. I think so many times we have a standard question we ask, and sometimes taking things completely off grid to ask a question that's going to get to the heart of the matter, or a huge move that's about to happen that if you're ahead of can reap great rewards for you and your company. So initiating conversations, we're going to talk about expanding our foundation. Like I really think with the opportunity to grab market share, we have to think about our foundation as a sales professional, our toolbox, our expertise, our confidence, all of that's foundational. How do we expand that personally, but then also how do we expand that foundation in our organization? So we're going to talk about that in a session, David. And then we're also going to talk about just refining our focus. Again, the data, analyzing the right fit, the targeting, being specific, like Zig Ziglar always said, you could be in sales a wandering generality, or you could be a meaningful specific, same in your life, but in sales, refining that focus. So 3 power pack sessions. David, what else would you add about the actual virtual summit? Just from years gone by, we've always heard great reviews, a lot of good feedback. Anything you would add?
I just think it's, for us, it's been a lot of fun. It's also been rewarding we've had great speakers, we've had great collaboration. The comments coming out of the summit of how it really help bring focus and direction and clarity. That's why we do it. If only one person shows up and it impacts them, then we've won. It's just fun. We've done it enough times that the nervousness doesn't really creep in. I mean, anytime technology is involved, yeah, would we rather have people in a room and have handouts and coffee? Well, yes, but it's just fun. It re-energizes me. I think it re-energizes you as well, Tim. You know, the ability to bring great topics and timely things to help our salespeople have fun. Again, if you're not having fun in everything, but especially in sales, we are all doing something wrong, for sure.
Yeah, bring the fun. You know, we always say keep it fun, right? Keep it fun.
But you know, fun. You know, we talked about this as well this week. I know we need to wrap this up, but fun is the byproduct. Like, don't, you know, that's where daft comes from. Is it whimsical? Well, you should have a whimsical, childlike way about you in discovery and your curiosity. But shouldn't say but, and unless you're winning and bringing tremendous value, it's harder to have that fun. Fun is the goal, but it's also the byproduct.
I love that you say byproduct. I also look at fun as the litmus test. If you're in a good rhythm, if you have a pipeline chock full, you know what stage of the sales funnel people are at. You're doing the activity. You will feel it's like when you finally figure out the balance on a bike and you're riding, that wind's in your face. You will feel fun, and fun is a byproduct, but it's also a litmus test. Fun comes from the fundamentals of sales, okay? And so we're going to talk about foundational things. It's going to be fun. I will say we're going to have some speakers. So we're going to have a lineup. David, I love that you mentioned the nervousness of technology. I don't personally. I know you do. Zoom is my wheelhouse. It's my baby. We've had a couple hundred over the last couple of years. So, you know, guys, get registered now. Invite your friends, invite your sales professionals. It is webinar. So it is going to be a morning, you know, mid-morning till like about 11 o'clock, I think it is. But the registration link, by the way, is below this video in the description of this podcast. So grab it there, or maybe somebody sent this video to you and they included the link to register in the email that you got or the text message. So just get registered and forward that on to another sales professional that you care about. Say, hey, I care about you. I'm sharpening my saw. Join us. But we're going to have some speakers join us as well. We'll keep those a secret for now. But some powerful sales leaders, sales coaches that coach nationally, and we're excited. So it'll be a lot of fun. The best part, I think, of all of it is we support every year the American Cancer Society. So it's free to join. We recommend a donation over to those guys, at least $30. But you know what? Let your heart lead you there, and let's make a big difference for this horrible, horrible disease of cancer that so many of our lives have been touched and affected by. And we always get to present that check every year to Swana and the great team over there at the American Cancer Society. So join us, get registered. It's free. Make your donation, spread the word. Sales growth for a good cause, and you're the best cause of all. You're a rising sales professional, and we want to help accelerate your success. So, David, with that, I'm excited, man. September is going to be great. Get ahead of that new year. Get ahead of that last quarter. Really put some thought into your sales and proactivity. So, without further ado, get registered. David, thank you for this. It has been fun, as it is every morning, having coffee with you, brother. Cheers.
Cheers.